Brody, you in here? We have an issue with under the Xfinity series. It says I need a Ford Mustang. It says to watch. I gotta buy a Ford Mustang. I never owned a Ford. I'm up to date. I know it's going live, folks. Of course, we got one more issue, and quickly working on it. Some kind of iRacing update. Alright, a simple reload worked, and we'll be up in 2 minutes. One minute and we'll be live, folks. We'll talk later. Alright, folks, this is Full Throttle Television and the running of the FTSR Xfinity Series, sponsored by Blackwater Products USA. Tonight we're at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course in Newton, Ohio. I'm Dean Doucette. Joining me in the booth is the owner of FTSR, Mr. Brody Hanna, and alongside him, Brad Patterson, another valued member of the team. How are we doing tonight, Brody?
Yeah, Dean, we're back. We're good. Good to be here, and we're back at another road course 2 weeks in a row, like we talked about. We'll see if these guys learned something last week, and maybe can take down that 41 car. It's going to be your last week's winner, Chris Pence.
Yeah, Chris Pence did a great job last week. A little bit surprising. We didn't know whether Chris was a great road course driver or not, but we've seen some pretty great action out there at Watkins Glen, so I was quite happy with the road course racing. Brad, what was your take on it?
Last week was a great race. We saw a little bit of carnage at the beginning, took out some key players, but Watkins Glen versus Mid Ohio is a totally different track. Watkins Glen, you can kind of muscle your car around. There's a lot of high-speed corners. Mid Ohio, 13 turns, 2.25 miles, a lot of low-speed corners, a lot of heavy braking. You got to really be patient and tiptoe around this track. It's a lot more technical than Watkins Glen. I'm interested to see what these drivers are going to do tonight.
Yeah, it's very technical, demanding track, and I've heard some guys, these are oval racers at their heart. A few of the guys are struggling a little bit. I mean, they put in the time. You'll see some great racing tonight, but even some of the better drivers out here, like Baron Labosco, I was just watching, just kind of get off course a little bit. It's going to be a tough night out here, Brody.
Yeah, I think you're going to see a lot of that tonight. But a couple of guys that were good last week look like they're at the top of the board here again tonight. We saw Donnie Staubach was really tough. He ran fastest lap in practice. Michael Blackner's up there again. Lane Allen, a great road course racer. So these guys are using this time to come in and maybe shine and put a dent in the points championship.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, there's room. When you come to a road course here, this is this is where all the points things come in ahead. We have 3 road courses here. So much can change. Currently, now what's the point gap here on this series, Brody?
That's what I was just pulling up because I didn't have it pulled up here. But
I think you're looking at 3 guys within 6-7 points here. So it's going to be quite interesting as we get down. We'll get through these. We got these road courses. I believe we got Bristol, and then Road America right after that, and then we'll have a couple more traditional tracks after that, so it'll be quite an interesting finish to the season here.
Yeah, and actually Casey McMullen came in with I think the points lead, well, I don't know if points lead, but he was close in points, had a rough outing at Watkins Glen, fell to 16 back. Bobby Terrell is your current points leader. 20 back is Bernard Person, but we saw Casey McMullen and Bernard Person both struggle last week at Watkins Glen.
Yes, that's absolutely right. Brad, we were talking last night. Unfortunately, the audience couldn't hear me. I really apologize for that, everyone. As we got our technicals issued out as far as the broadcast goes, and then we had some kind of audio problem. Hopefully, it's all worked out tonight. But we were talking a lot about Donnie Staubach and what a good year he was having. And at the time, he was running some of the fastest laps on the track. Currently sitting on second here during qualifying. Just talk about what you think about him and his progress.
Yeah, he's actually done really great throughout the season. And last week at Watkins Glen, he seemed to be one of the people that was shining. He tended to start a little bit back in the pack, and I think that kind of chewed up a little bit of his time making it through the traffic. But today, so far, it looks like he's sitting on the outside of row 1. If that holds up, I expect to see a lot from him challenging early and possibly able to run away. He seems to be a really good road course racer, and I'm really interested to see what he's going to do with that number 99.
Yeah, we definitely have to keep an eye on Donnie in the 99, but the guy on the pole, the provisional pole right now till qualifying finishes up, I think he's got something to prove. He's been in contention the last couple of weeks at these road courses and has found some sort of an issue every week. I think he's motivated. I think he's one guy you're going to have to watch for tonight. If he gets a good start, gets out front, he's going to be tough to run down. That's Michael Blackner.
Yeah, Michael Blackner, actually a teammate of yours. We've been talking a lot about him lately. He's shown some great speed, especially on the road courses. Like you said, little problems here and there, and that kind of brings us to our keys to the race, which we got listed as, all kind of mental focus, consistency, and the start. We all know what the start can be a little harrowing here, on any road course. These guys at FTSR do a fantastic job, and we'll probably get through the first corner no problem whatsoever. But being consistent and being focused, these are going to be big keys. And, not to, get on Michael at all, but for Michael in particular, he's got a very fast car. He's starting on the pole. Can he keep his focus and be consistent enough to take home a victory tonight?
Well, he's been extremely fast. He's been strong at these road courses. He gets out front, but you're right. Mental focus, that's the big thing there. You have to stay focused, stay on the track. And when you do get behind, you have to really pace yourself to make up the points. I mean, the gap. You're not going to pick it up at these road courses in big amounts. You're really going to have to inch up on guys, especially with the quality of driver we have out there. So you have to pace yourself, and if you don't, you're going to find yourself in the grass.
Yeah, that's exactly correct. And right now we're going to take a minute here to go through the starting order. 1 through 10 here on the pole. Mr. Michael Blackner, we were just talking about in the 22 car. Can he keep his focus? Can he hold off the second place outside of row 1, Mr. Donnie Staubitz in the 99 car, having a great year, great improvements. In my mind, the most improved driver on the track in our league. Mr. Lane Allen. Lane Allen in the 14 car, part of that Blackwater team, Blackwater Products USA, one of the newest members. He has been great here on these road courses. Lane really, he really gets focused for these, and I look for him to have a good night tonight. Bobby Terrell, I'm not sure. Brody, did you say he's our points leader currently?
Yeah, he's currently leading the points by about, let me look again, that was 16 points over Casey McMullen.
Yeah, so he's got a nice gap here. He's got a good starting position in fourth. And you brought up Casey McMullen, another Blackwater Products USA car, starting in the fifth spot here. Much better starting spot than we've seen him on road courses the last couple of times. So look for him to have a good night. Starting sixth, Bernard Person. Starting seventh is Will Long. Starting eighth is Jason Martin. Starting ninth, TJ Bartel. In the 10th spot will be Brian Bliss. Looking over these
green.
Oh, we're going green, folks.
That was an awful early green flag.
Wow.
We're down and underway here at Mid-Ohio.
I apologize, folks. With road course, I thought we had all day here. It was a very quick green.
And so Michael Blackner jumps out to a lead a little bit on Donnie Staubitz. He was able to jump out in front, and he's going to maintain that position as we go through turn 2. You're going to see it's going to be an action spot here, turn 2. It's off camber getting into the corner, and it's a little misleading. Down into turn 3, they're on the backstretch, what they call the backstretch. Into turn 3 here. This is a tricky corner as well. If you're not careful, you'll end up in the grass. Looks like the 22 misses that corner, but recovers here, and it's going to maintain the lead. Another mistake for the 22.
You can really overdo it by overdriving these corners, push wide, and you allow the opponent behind you to get under you. It looks like that 22 is doing just that, trying to get a little too much early as it gets out of shape already.
Yeah, that's actually going to force him to lose the lead. He drops back to third place here as he regains his composure. Let's go put Donnie Staubitz out front as they come through the final corner here. This is another one. I mean, this track is really tricky. This is one of the tricky corners. A quick right, then a quick left there, and you'll come back to the start-finish line, complete lap 1. Donnie Staubitz out front. '99 Staubitz leads them through turn 1, and
yeah, the 14 of Lane Allen's looking really good right now. It looks like the 22, Michael Blackner, as we discussed earlier, he's got to overcome those mental abilities, and he's lost this lead early, and it's going to be interesting to see what he does here, whether or not he's going to be able to put together a couple of clean laps and work his way back up, or other competitors continue to make mistakes as people try to push it a little too hard early. This is going to be a really test of everybody's patience on these tracks.
Yeah, patience is going to be a key factor here. Like I said, you're really going to have to regain your composure, especially after a couple of mistakes we made about the 22, and it seemed to go wide again here off that corner. He's just going to have to settle himself down. You're not going to make big gains, like I said. You're going to have to really pace yourself here to get yourself back in contention for this win. So he runs wide again and almost leaves the racetrack there.
Yeah, this is definitely one of those tracks where being a little bit slow the next relay, and we're going to continue to see it, especially if the tires start to drop off the cars are going to get a little bit slicker. So I'm interested to see who's going to be.
Did
Who's going to
not
be the
get
goers
the
as we
position
get a
there
couple more
going
laps in
into
these
two,
tires.
but he's one of the guys we'll keep an eye on. Fourth and currently running fifth, so he really hadn't gone anywhere, but he's one of the guys that really can save tires. We've seen him in the past. I'm sure he's looking to do what he did last week, kind of maintain his points position.
Yeah, he's pretty much a solid driver throughout the entire series. With a lot of these guys, they're going to be looking for two ways. They're going to either be looking to outbrake you and get underneath you, or they're going to actually go a little bit wide and actually run the corner and try to cut back underneath you. Try to gain that traction off the corners. That's pretty much the only ways that you can really attack. As you see the 4, Bobby Terrell, he's kind of looking on the 71 there. But at the same time, he's getting a lot of pressure from the 8 car, so he's probably going to sit there and try to ride out as long as he can, but at the same time, if there's an opportunity to get by the 71, I think he's going to jump on it. You can't let the 22 get away.
Okay, guys, I just want to give you an update of what happened there. Thought we had another technical problem, but what we have is a bit of a moron problem. I set my drink down on the keyboard without realizing it, and everything was flashing insanely crazy and wouldn't work. We have moved the drink. We are not broadcasting, and I apologize for the interruption.
I was just going to say, I was watching the stream and I wanted to apologize to the guys who weren't getting the stream video, but we've got that solved. Looks like we got it worked out and we're back underway here.
My God, if anything else can go wrong with these things. All right, here we go. So currently, Donnie Staubutz has made it to the front. I apologize that we missed that, but great job for Donnie out to the lead here.
Yeah, Donnie's starting to kind of pull away from the 14 of Lane Allen, and both those guys are kind of broken away from the 22. Everybody's kind of spaced out till you get about the 4th, and don't know if there's a bottleneck there or what. They're starting to stack up behind the 71 of McMullen.
Yeah, it looks like Casey McMullen here having a little trouble here. We got 3 cars behind him and another few behind that, so we'll see. Maybe he's just taking it easy, making sure he doesn't make mistakes. I'm sure that's the case, but it's awful tough to pass out here, Brad. You think any of these guys, where's a good place for these guys to make a move?
I think the big one's going to be right here, not after turn 1, but going into turn 2. You're going to have a strong braking point. You're either going to set up on the outside to brake late to actually come back underneath them, or you're going to try to get to the inside. I look for the number 4 to sit there and brake a little bit late, and then try to actually come back under on the exit of the corner. There you go. As the 71 actually pushes a little wide, opens the door for the 4 car. Now we got to see if the 71 here is going to actually brake a little late going in, or if he's going to concede the position to the 4, because it seems like the 4 car is definitely faster.
Yeah, and this is another great passing zone right here. This is a braking zone right here. You're going to see a lot of guys trying to pass here. It works really well to pass, but you got to be on your game, because if you're not, you can take you and the other guy out into the sand there as they work their way over the hill and into turn 6, I believe that is.
Yeah, I think the 4 is definitely faster, and you're starting to get a little bit frustrated. Every now and then you see the back end of that machine step out. And that's just getting the throttle a little bit early, trying to really get a run on that 71. But the problem is he just doesn't quite have the forward grip to make it happen.
Yeah, and like you said, he's fast in all the wrong places. To be honest with you, he's found the speed, but he just cannot make that run into a corner to get beside the guy to make the pass.
So currently on our leaderboard, we got Donnie Staubutz out front, kind of pulling away, a couple of seconds in front of Mr. Lane Allen. 22, Michael Blackner, our pole winner tonight, is sitting there in 3rd. Casey McMullen, Bobby Terrell, Bernard Person, Will Long, Chris Pence, TJ Bartel, and Jason Martin round out the top 10.
Yeah, I'm trying to look and see if we see some movers, and I do. No surprise there, the 41 of Chris Pence did not take a qualifying time, starting in 11th, currently up to 8th place. He's right behind Will Long, Bernard Person, Bobby Terrell, and Casey McMullen there, coming into your screen right there in the white car. So no surprise, Chris Pence is starting to make a charge through the field here.
Yeah, Chris Pence doing a great job on these ovals. Really surprised. I wouldn't imagine he didn't take a time, but this track being so demanded, if you get a 1X, if you touch a grass, get just over the curb, your time will not count in qualifying. That's probably what happened to Chris Pence.
Yeah, you're preaching to the choir there. I think I did that in the Cup car. It's not a fun thing, but it can be fun to come back through the field. And the battle for second is starting to heat up, speaking of, and the 22 of Michael Blackner's been able to reel in the 14 of Lane Allen for second place.
Yeah, Michael looks like he's back on track now, and we'll see what he can do here.
Yeah, I think it might just be a little bit of nerves. Start of the race, shake the car out, see what you really got, get it back under you, get your rhythm going, and then maybe you can make some good lap times. Because it seems like that's exactly what Black was doing as he moves to the inside of the 14 to try to make this pass happen. As the 14 actually goes out wide into the grass, the 22 is definitely going to get by him, as Lane Allen's going to lose his spot as well as some valuable time from that.
Yeah, Lane gave him plenty of room there. Gave him the whole track. But I'm sure Lane's a really courteous driver. Just really wanted to make sure he was able to make that pass cleanly and not lose much time. He lost a little bit there in the grass, but these guys are oval racers. Some of them are a little bit better on the roads than the other, and he's one of the guys, like I said, I figured would run well tonight, and he's proven that to be the case.
I'll tell you what, the 99 of Donnie Slawback, he's checking out, but at the same time, he's not letting off. He just did a big lockup in the last corner. Going into 3 there. So he's not exactly resting on his laurels. He's trying to put some fast lap times down, but at the same time, that could cost him very dearly. I mean, they've got a great lead, the top 3, but one mistake and you can throw it all away.
Yeah, 45 laps here. We're on lap 7, coming to complete lap 7 actually here, and still a long way to go, and a pit stop to go. There's a lot that's left to happen here, but I'm sure Donnie's wanting to kind of check out and run his own race once he gets out there.
Yeah, Donnie's doing a great job up here. You know, I got to confess, I'm not overly familiar with this track, and I have run it. It's very difficult. Now, out of you two, like, are either one of you is overly familiar, or do you like this track? Do you hate it? What are your thoughts on it? Brad, we'll start with you.
On lap 1, I hate this track. About lap 30, I start to fall in love with it because it really is a track that you can get into a really good rhythm with. You can really feel the corners. You can start to let the car slide out a little bit on you. I mean, ultimately, it is a rhythm track. Because actually, the 22 just went off into the grass, so you might let the 14 and Lane Allen come back on.
Yeah, he just crossed over the track into the other grass. So they won't have to pay anybody to cut the grass. Looks like the 22 is taking care of that for them for this week. But yeah, I mean, I really enjoy this track because it is a challenging track. There are so many different facets of road racing here. From this part right here where you crest the hill and come down and the car gets slight, to turn 1, you have to kind of guess where your braking zone is. Turn 2, the off-camber keyhole is what they call it. It's such a challenging track, but there's a lot of different aspects to it that challenge you every lap. And 45 laps is going to be a long time for these guys.
Yeah, this track, the biggest thing is, as a racer, you want to be in the throttle. When you're out of the throttle so much, letting the car just rotate and roll, that it drives you crazy. You think that you're just going so slow when you're turning very fast lap times because you're letting the car roll through the corners, which is exactly what you need to do here.
Well, why don't we take a look here in the in-car camera of our leader, Mr. Donnie Staubitz, and perhaps, you know, one of you guys can take us through one of these laps. I don't know which one he is to pick. You both seem highly comfortable in here, but we'll give Brody the call on this. Maybe you can ride along with Donnie Staubitz here and just let us know what he's up to.
Yeah, you're starting the middle of the lap here, and this turn here you can kind of go right, but you have to watch. You'll push if you're not careful. This right here is a lot of fun. This is a left, and then you go right, and then it's almost a double apex, and then you go right here. This is what I'm talking about, the over the hill. The car gets really light over that, and if you're not careful, the back end will step out on you. You'll be in trouble. The fast run up to here, and then slowing down through, I don't know what turn that is, but anyway, the last turn here is challenging because it is a true double apex. You go in there in apex, you wash out in apex again. Coming through here is always a lot of fun as well, but it's a little rough coming to the start finish line. But I mean, you're working the car really hard around a lap like this.
Yeah, this is very intense. Just continuing to ride along with Donnie here. I mean, I can't believe what he's going through here, Brad. This is turn after turn after turn.
Yeah, you really got to be on your game, and you really got to be thinking about the next corner more than the corner you're in. If you're not setting up for the next corner, the one you're coming out of, like even right now, we're going down the back stretch, as they call it, but at the same time, it's going to have a little dogleg to the right. You'll be able to keep it wide open. You got to make sure you're far enough to the outside to be able to hit your braking points, really get the car slowed down, and get into the corner. Otherwise, you can do exactly what the 22 did just a few laps ago and be right out in the grass, and you're going to give up a lot of time, a lot of track position.
Yeah, one thing you'll notice too is there's a lot of sudden elevation change. It's not a gradual thing. There's sudden elevation change here, which is another challenge to this track. I mean, you're going, like I said, over this hill, over the hill that he just crossed, and you're up and turning at the same time. It's a challenge, but it's a lot of fun. And I'm sure Donnie's having a lot of fun out there out front.
Yeah, your braking points, your visual cues, if you will, could be a branch in a tree, in some random tree on the corner, and it can be really frustrating, but at the same time, it can be really fun. Once you get a lot of cars around you and you're looking at a lot of different things, is really when it gets interesting, being able to focus on what you need to do. And that was one of the keys of the race today, just being able to really focus on what you're doing and turn a consistent lap. If you do that every lap, you'll walk away the winner.
I'll tell you, I'm still looking at this battle for fourth. Casey McMullen continues to hold back the fort of Bobby Terrell. I mean, I thought he would have made the pass by now if he was that much faster, but he's just unable to make the pass. He's going to try to outbrake him here into the keyhole, and he's unable to do it. The 71's going to maintain the position maybe, but he washes wide there.
I think what you're getting here is the 4-car of Bobby Terrell. He's better in the technical, so he's better in actually doing the corners and whatnot, but he can't quite get past McMullen, McMullen is better in braking. So he's driving it in a little deeper than the 4-car can get, so he can't really get the position in the corners.
Exactly. And you know, that's what I was talking about. He's fast in all the wrong places. He's faster. I think he's faster than the 71. He's just not fast enough to make that braking move into the corner. One thing we'll have to watch, if he gets a little too aggressive and starts getting impatient, and he breaks a little too late in one of these corners, he could take himself and possibly the 71 out. So we're going to continue to watch this, and we'll see how that works out.
Yeah, just looking at off the right front of Bobby here, you know, Casey's doing a great job because he is a little slower. I think that's fair to say, but he's got 4 or 5 cars behind him. This is not the type of track. There is nowhere to just move over and let a single car by you and fall back in line. If he moves over, he's getting freight trained.
Well, if you look at Casey, he's not exactly running a traditional line. He's running kind of center line where he's kind of taking up both lanes. He's not necessarily committing all the way to the outside to give him that lane or all the way to the inside. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's running a very smart race for somebody that's a little bit slower. He's counting on them behind him to wear their stuff out or to make a mistake. All he can do is run his race, and that's exactly what he's doing.
Exactly. He's doing nothing wrong at all. I mean, he's doing exactly what he should be doing, running in 4th position. And doing a great job at it. There's absolutely nothing wrong. Now, I know the 4 of Bobby, he's usually a kind of calm customer, but anytime you think you're faster than the car in front and you just can't find a way around, it's frustrating. And frustration sometimes leads to mistakes, which I'm sure he doesn't want to have. And last week we interviewed him, he was focused on points anyway. So as long as he's got the 71 in his sights, he's not losing, but maybe a point to him at this point.
Well, you brought up frustration, and that's something I'll focus on a little more, is that, you know, when does it lead to something else? Do you get in there a little too hot and cause an incident? Do you give the guy a little push or get right on his bumper and try and make him overdrive the corner? Or, I guess the other option you got, really, is to wait for pit stops and maybe go in first? I don't know. What do you think, Brad?
I think it's easier following the guy than it is being the guy in the front. The guy following has braking cues. He has brake points going off the guy in front of him. He knows he can pull him back. Now, if you're the 71 in this point, if you're trying to hold him behind him, you're more liable to make a mistake. If you, in this particular case, you know, the points battle and everything, you might be a little bit more susceptible to just kind of ride it out. You know, maybe a pit stop coming. Take your time. Don't make a mistake. Really what you got to worry about is whether or not you overdo it. Because at a moment's notice, the 71 could go off or the 4 could go off and collect the 71. You really don't know with road course racing, and you just got to be on your toes the entire time.
Well, and I tell you, somebody who I know is frustrated at this point, and you can tell by his driving habits at this point now, is the 22 of Michael Blackner. I watched him again go off big time off the last corner and lost a lot of time. He's over 10 seconds back of the lead now. So he's extremely frustrated at this point, and you can tell by the way the car is shaking out back. He's driving that car hard. He is not happy, and he's going to try to make up some time here, but he's put himself in a hole he's going to have to dig out of. But as far as making passes here, it is a tough track to pass because it's so technical. I like to kind of ride close to someone and hopefully wait for them to make a mistake. Like you said, you do have a pit stop coming up, so that's another chance to make an easy pass, is to have a good pit stop or have good pit strategy at least.
Yeah, absolutely. And just you're talking about the technical track and what it takes out here, and a guy who's shown he's got what it takes on these road courses, Lane Allen. Just like to give him a little airtime here. He's kind of running alone, but I do believe he's actually catching Donnie Staubach. He might have saved his stuff a little better. I don't know if the lap times would confirm that or not, but he definitely looks like me that he is running a solid race here. As Michael makes the odd mistake, Michael might be the fastest guy on a given lap, but he keeps making these little mistakes which allow Lane to get away.
Well, another guy just made a mistake in turn 2. That's the 71 of Casey McMullen. The 4 put some pressure on him, and Casey actually ran off the track in turn 2 and fell all the way from 4th to 8th place, I believe, or 7th.
We're going to go ahead and look at that on
Yeah, so basically, while you're pulling it up, the 71 just overcooked the corner there. Had the 4 looking to the inside. The 4 didn't have position on him, but it was enough to make him make a mistake, and that's all it takes.
As we got it up now, is Casey McMullen here coming into the corner. Bobby's coming down the inside a bit. He tries to cut it, just too much speed, locking up the tires, off into the gravel pit there, and that's going to allow all 3 of those cars to get on by him. Back here live now as we watch Casey's just a little bit off now. He did a good job holding those guys. He's probably just going to calmly ride behind them at this point.
Hey, I tell you what, we had some pit stops when we weren't looking. The 41 of Chris Pence was in pit road last lap. That was lap 14 for him. So we'll keep an eye and see if maybe he's trying to pull some sort of strategy here. Not really sure how you're going to break that up, I guess, into 2 pit stops. I don't know if you really want to do that or if he's just pitting early here.
Well, I will say that the difference in lap times right now is about 2 seconds, if you will. They qualified in a 125. Their average race pace right now in the last lap was at 127. So you will make up some time. We can make up enough time. That's yet to be seen, obviously. What I'm going to be interested to see is what the number 4 does. So if he's going to be able to claw back some of that time on the 22 of Blackwater without McMullen in front of him. They've already pulled away 3 seconds from McMullen. So it's going to be interesting to see if they're able to claw back enough time to really make a difference.
It looks like the 41 just wanted to go off strategy because everybody else is like they're staying out this time. Yeah, even the 54, 50, all those guys are staying out on track. So interesting, something to watch. Is the 41 Chris Pence.
Very interesting. The only guy on a 2-stopper here, definitely not a normal call. I believe this is 100% a 1-stop race, but be interesting to see him work his way through the field nonetheless.
Well, remember, he did have an issue with qualifying where he possibly would have went off, so that car might just not be to his liking, and it might have gotten to the point where he just didn't run it and get a little bit of fresh rubber on it to continue running.
Yeah, he might just be thinking, too, that, we've seen how hard it is to pass. Bobby couldn't get by Casey McMullen. Really tough track for that kind of thing. Maybe he thought, you know what, I'm going to be so much slower on these tires behind guys. Let me get some fresh rubber. I'll make up all that time I lost and be able to pass some guys. Maybe it'll work out for him.
Yeah, but Dean, my concern there would be at the end of the race. You're going to have the oldest tires of anyone out there. You're really going to be sliding around there at the end of the race.
No,
You got to
he'll
push
have
it
the
up hard.
newest if he stops twice.
If he stops twice, but I don't know if these guys will stop twice. I mean, maybe they will, but I just feel like that maybe he pitted earlier than everybody else. We just saw the 14 of Lane Allen go off in turn one. He rejoins the track, no harm, no foul there. But if he decides to do a one stopper and stop this early, it could get interesting.
Yeah, you're right. It could be just an early stop. Now, I don't think we have the gas mileage figures here, but 30 laps would probably be pushing it here. I think they could safely do it, but I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, I think
Guys,
he'll be right on the edge. I think he came down at lap 16. I think that he would be able to make it from here. It's just how much time is he going to give up on the backside?
we got some sad news to report. The pole sitter, number 22, Michael Blackner, has retired from the event. He missed turn one and didn't hit anything, but I guess decided to call it quits at that point. Just not having a good night, and so he's out.
Yeah, that's a real shame. Michael's troubles do continue. We'll be looking to get him back on an oval and see if his luck can improve. It's really run of tough luck for Michael.
Yeah, Michael's no slouch. I mean, he's won championships. He's won the race. Won several races here recently. So, it's not it's maybe road courses just aren't his fit. I mean, even though he was on the pole, obviously he can carry some speed. Just not feeling it tonight, and unfortunately it finally bit him.
Well, I wonder if it's something to do with his sim racing situation, meaning we know Michael has switched just to stock sim racing versus racing a little bit. He had gone off the triple screen monitor and onto a VR headset, and I think maybe back again. So maybe these are just some of the issues that he's dealing with. I'm not sure.
Yeah, and I will say too, with VR, I've heard several guys talk about this road course racing. It's a whole different monster than oval racing because there's so much going on and you really have to feel the car. Some of the guys actually struggle with that, and I feel like maybe it's something to that effect. Maybe he's just getting used to or not used to and having issues.
Yeah, as somebody who just literally tried that himself, the road course in the VR is a lot more difficult because of the fact that you move your head so much more. Where with the triple monitor setup like I have, you just look to the left, you look to the right, you see the corner. But in VR, when you turn, everything in your cockpit turns with you. It's really easy to get a lot of motion going all at once, and it's something that you really got to be ready for. It could be something that maybe a little motion sickness or anything like that. I obviously don't know what happened, but it is definitely something that you have to get used to.
Yeah, I'm getting a little sick just thinking about it. Too old for VR. Can't handle it, but to the guys who can, it can be beneficial. So if you can get used to it, it can help you.
Yeah, turning our eyes back to the track for third place, the battle's still pretty hot there. You still have Bobby Terrell, Bernard Person, and Will Long all running right there together, and it's a pretty strong battle here for for third place. First and second kind of checked out, and they're running their own zip codes. Now 21 seconds behind is Bobby Terrell, but these guys are still trying to settle third place.
Yeah, we've been watching it for a few minutes here. Good little battle here. I want to get back to Chris Pence here, who is closing in on Jason Martin. He had already gotten by Sherwood Williford, so those fresh tires, he's making some time up here. Currently about 42 seconds back from the leader.
He certainly is, and I'll tell you, his lap 24 is a 127.7, and then going to our leader. Where's our leader? Lap 24 was a 126.8. So Donnie's still clicking them off out front here.
Yeah, Donnie and Lane Allen as well are clicking off the best times out here. They're just doing a great job up front.
As a matter of fact, Lane Allen just ran his fastest lap last time by at a 125.9. So he's definitely still got some speed in that car, even on old tires.
Yeah, Lane Allen recently joined the Blackwater Products USA team to do these guys over there proud. Steve Barry and the boys who run that company. great bunch of guys. We couldn't be happier to have them, and I'd say they couldn't be happier to have Lane Allen in this NVIDIA car 14 here running with them.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, just sitting there watching, I was just watching Chris Parks, and the frustration just got a little bit better. He went wide in 2 corners, got into the grass, then came back on the track and got into number 9 of Jason Martin, got himself a little bit of right front damage. So, again, we're back in that spot where you think you're faster and you're patient. It's just wearing a little bit of thin. You push it too hard, and all of a sudden you got a damaged race car.
Yeah, that can happen. Maybe we'll go back. We'll have a quick look at that.
Now he's locking up the brakes a little bit too, getting in the corners, just pushing really hard, trying to make the most out of those tires that you stop for. And I'll repeat what I've been saying. It's just so easy to push over that limit and find yourself in trouble.
I believe we got it here as the 41 come inside. It looks like Jason kind of disappeared and then reappeared. So he might have had a little computer malfunction there. I can speak about those in an untimely fashion. Perhaps he put his drink on his keyboard.
Our leader's starting to get into lap traffic here. He's catching the 18 and the 17. 17 Steve Loomis and the 18 of Brian Bliss. And so he's going to have to work around this traffic a little bit. Got a huge gap over second place. 6.5 seconds, so you don't want to throw that away.
Yeah, that 6 seconds can disappear very quickly just by running off, going in the grass, or catching yourself in a bad situation. So he wants to make sure he's cautiously aggressive.
Yeah, the gaps, I'm watching this gap, and there's some amazing differences going on here. I've seen 9 seconds, 6 seconds. We're down currently at 3 and 4 seconds. I guess it depends on corner or straightaway, but you don't usually see that kind of fluctuation.
Yeah, it certainly bounces around because the turns being so different at this track, it will bounce around the real time difference. So we'll see what it is at the line. Really, it's the best way you look at part of the track from lap to lap and kind of see. But I don't want to bring up we're on lap 21 of 45. We're getting close to halfway, and I got a feeling we're about to see some pit stops.
Yeah, we definitely are. And, I asked you this the other night, Brad, about, coming in early versus coming in late. I think you lean towards coming in early. Do you still hold that for this course?
Well, it depends. It doesn't really seem like tire drop-off's been a real issue here. If you're one of those drivers that, you're able to maintain very fast lap times versus other drivers, I'd stay out later, actually. I'd let them maybe get a slight advantage on me early in the run, knowing that I'm going to be faster at the end. If I'm somebody like Donnie Staubach's Lane Allen, I'm staying out. Maybe if I'm Lane Allen, I might come in just a little bit earlier, a lap or two earlier, just to try to do something different than the 99 to make up time. Everybody else, it seems like their lap times are dropping off more, so they have to come in early if they want any shot at this. With no cautions, you got one of two things, and if you just do exactly what the 99 does, you're never going to make up time.
Yeah, I definitely, if I was the 14, I may come in a little early or maybe come in a little late. Seems like his car's working better than the 99 here on the older tires because he is eating into that the gap. Because it's down to, last time at the line, it was down to 4.9 seconds from a 6 point, I forgot what it was, 6.8, something like that. So he's definitely chopped about 2 seconds off.
Donnie had those 2-lap cars to deal with, and perhaps he slowed down just enough for that. But while that was going on, Bobby Terrell in the 4 car slipped into the pits here. He's made his stop, and he's out and running. He's currently stuck behind Jason Martin here, though. He needs to get by him really fast.
Just an update on the 14, went from 4.9 to 4.6 that lap, and the 14 was passing lap cars. So he's definitely faster at this point. I don't know if that's a tire thing, but he may have something for the 99 here.
Yeah, it seems like the 99 got off into the grass in turn 11, it looked like. It seems like he's just at that end where he's probably going to be coming down soon to get a little bit more fresh rubber. He's probably at the end of that tire run, right? Cut the race in half. So I expect to see him in the next 1 or 2 laps in. And once if he's able to maintain that lead, it's going to be able to see what we do. Whether or not Lane Allen will be able to close on him with fresher tires, or if Donnie Staubach will pull away with fresher tires.
Brad, and it's funny too what what kind of box being in the lead puts you in, because you really don't want to do anything too outlandish. You don't want to do anything special, and you want to just break it in half and go. It kind of puts you in a box where you can't try something because you don't want to give away the lead. And that's what the 14 of Lane Allen's looking at. He's like, okay, I got something to play with. I've got to make up time. But as the leader, you don't want to mess with that.
Right, and at the same time, you don't want to come out in the middle of lap traffic. You don't want to come out in the middle of a lot of guys that either just come out of pit road or going to pit road. It seems like everybody in the rear of the field's taking pit road right now. So the 99, when he does make that pit stop, he could come out right dead center in the middle of a lot of other cars that he's going to have to fight to get around.
All right, and we see the 14's actually on pit road now. He's decided to come in. 99 stayed out, so he's going to come in earlier than the 99. We'll see how this plays out.
Yeah, I think this is a good call by Lane. I mean, you got two choices. I never like to follow what the other guy's doing, so I like to either come in earlier or come in later if I'm in second or beyond trying to make up spots. Lane Allen here decided to come in early. I think this will play out nice for him. If he can have some clear track and get a really solid lap, he just might squeeze up to the lead here, at least temporarily.
Yeah, as we saw last week, you never know. One guy, he slides through his box. Boom, that's 5 seconds, and all of a sudden he loses the lead. So you just really never know. You got to concentrate not only on the track, but also getting into your pit box clean and getting out of pit road. Because the mistake now, if you're the 99, you can kiss the race goodbye.
And he has come out in some clean traffic, so we'll see if the 14 can make up some time here. 99's coming up to our last corner. We're going to see if he pits this time. Coming through, now he's entering the last corner and disappeared. Now he's back, and he's decided to stay out again here, guys. So he's gonna stay out on these older tires.
Yeah, he's going to keep riding. As Jason has explained here, or Brad has explained here, I get so many commentators, I don't know who I'm talking to anymore. If you're running great lap times, there is no need to come in. Sometimes with a lower gas tank that's less full, it's going to ride a little bit better for you.
Yeah, we want to see what his last lap time is. So his last lap time was a 1:26.4. So what's going to be interesting is to see what Lane Allen's next lap time is. It looks like it was a 1:25.9. So he's a little faster, but not enough to be really alarming. When you have almost a 5-second lead, you're not going to run the pit lane just because he took 3 or 4 tenths out of you.
And the 14, that was his fastest lap of the race as well. So, actually, wait a minute. I'm at the wrong... Never mind.
It happens to the best of us. As we're watching Donnie Staubach here, he's got Sherwood Williford behind him. Sherwood Williford currently running back in 10th place. By his own admission, will tell you he may not, absolutely love this course, but solid job so far as we know, keeping his car clean and on track. Top 10. Nice night.
Well, he's got a tagged on the back of the 99 here, and just kind of. It's the 99. Looks like he's going to be coming to the pit this time by, so he's going to go ahead and make that pit stop.
Yeah, we got the 99 coming down pit road. This is going to be very interesting to see exactly where Will Long and Lane Allen come out here. As Will Long, I think, currently registered in 2nd place. That might not be accurate. I think he'll probably fall down the board.
So he hasn't pitted yet.
Will Long did pit. I don't think his current lap times have registered yet, as Lane Allen will probably come out the leader or 2nd place. As Donnie Staubach's coming out now.
The 14's just coming onto the front stretch there, so we'll see where they blend.
You got to be careful not to get a penalty here on exit. Blend too early, you'll get a penalty. It looks like everything was good there. But now they're on the same straightaway. We'll see what the difference is next time by, but they got a lap car between us at the, I believe that's the 17 of Steve Loomis.
Yeah, it looks like
Allen made up time. He went in. Remember when we started this round of pit stops, he went in almost 5 seconds back. I believe he made up maybe about a second and a half. What's really going to be interesting though is once the 99 of Donnie Staubach gets out, whether he'll be able to stretch that lead back out, or whether or not Lane Allen will be able to keep that same distance.
Well, the thing too is the 14 looked like he was a little bit faster on older tires too, or at least more consistent than the 99. So that might be part of the strategy of the 99 coming in early, or later, is that kind of eat away some of that gap he has at the end of the race.
So why don't we take a minute here and we'll just go through our sponsored cars here in the Blackwater Products USA team. Starting with, well, we got our leader here. He's not a part of that team in the Menards car, 99 Donnie Staubutz. But Lane Allen, our first Blackwater car, in the 14 NVIDIA car, currently running in second place. Our other drivers tonight would be Casey McMullen and Stephen Loomis. Casey McMullen currently sitting back in 8th place, doing a decent job, having a pretty good night, and he might be satisfied with that. He's being hounded right now by Baron Labosco, who was our one-time series leader before he's ran into a little bit of issues. Casey doing a nice job in front of him, though. And behind him, the other Blackwater car that's out here tonight, Mr. Stephen Loomis in the 17 car, currently sitting on pit road, taking his last pit for the night. And I'm sorry, I've missed one. We have Brian Bliss out here as well in the 18 car. He's running the Ream 18 car, having a nice night, sitting in 11th, just taking it easy. Some of these guys, like I said, they're oval racers, and they're just happy to get through these, this race tonight, incident-free, get a decent points night. Hopefully a few guys have some problems and they gain a couple of spots, so they're doing a good job.
Absolutely. I don't think any of these oval drivers, if they're not road course drivers, there's no shame in coming out here and running. Even if you don't do the best of job, you still showed up, you still raced, you still put it on the line.
Absolutely, and it's just another opportunity for some of the other guys to shine. We see, like I said, Donnie Staubutz, Lane Allen. This guy's doing a great job here tonight. But I want you to look who's in 3rd place. Our first guy to the pit road, the 41, Chris Pence, has worked his way up to 3rd. 15 seconds back. We'll see if he's making any time on the leader, but he's running out of time.
Well, he's running out of time, and I'm not sure. I mean, I think you guys have considered his strategy was to do a 1-stop with an early pit. I thought maybe a 2-stop, but hopefully not, because he's made his way up to 3rd. This is maybe the best decision of the race.
It is, but he was about 2 seconds slower than our leader that time by, I believe. I don't know if he had an issue that lap, or well, he lost 2 seconds, I should say. He's dropped to 17.5 seconds. So, yeah, I mean, the tires, he's going to have the oldest tires, so he's going to have to hang on here. And I tell you, the 4 of Bobby Terrell, the 8 of Bernard Person, the 12 of Will Long, those guys are all lined up behind him, and they're going to run him down, I'm afraid.
I'm not too sure, because if you look at the lap times, Chris Spence is actually turning better lap times than the 4 of Bobby Terrell. Now, whether or not that'll remain once they get a little bit farther into this run or not, but currently Pence is turning a little bit better lap times than Terrell, so we're going to have to see if whether or not A, he has enough fuel to make it to the end, and B, whether or not he can keep up this pace.
That's a good point about the fuel. He stopped early. You got to make those calculations as accurate as you can, and you're basically guessing at that point, and hopefully he's got his numbers right. We'll see what happens here.
Yeah, you talked about those 3 cars running together, Bobby Terrell, Bernard Person, and the 12 car of Will Long. We haven't given Will Long any real shout-outs tonight. Will Long, one of our faster guys out here, he's had a few issues as of late, but he's been really solid tonight. Unfortunate for him, just nowhere to go right now.
Yeah, Will's been, they've all 3 kind of been stuck together the whole race. The 12, the 8, and the 4, all kind of right there together the whole time. And if they look in their mirror, they got the 54 Baron Labosco coming to join them as well. So this could get a little intense.
Yeah, Baron Labosco, talked to him earlier. He, not a big fan. I will say this over the air. He offered me a cookie to change the schedule. I was really tempted to accept that cookie. Anyway, so we got the 12 car Will Long currently sitting in 6th. Ahead of him, Bernard Person in 5th. Bobby Terrell currently sitting in 4th. Chris Pence with that early pit stop running in 3rd. Lane Allen up in 2nd place, doing a solid job still. And up to our leader, Mr. Donnie Staubitz looking for his first win out here in the 99 Menards car, looking just stout out here tonight.
I'll tell you what, that 41 of Chris Spence is starting to fall back into the clutches. That 4 car, Bobby Trail, they have closed the gap. And those 3 cars in train of Bobby Trail are coming right up on the back deck lid of the 41 of Chris Spence. I don't think that strategy is going to work out for him after all.
Yeah, and the 54 Baron Lebowski is catching his group from the back. So we're going to have a 5-car battle here for, what is this, third place here. So it's going to get kind of intense here. And honestly, Lane's hanging tough in about 3.5 seconds back at Donnie Staubitz as well. And if Lane starts getting that advantage towards the end of this race, we could have a race to the lead as well.
Yeah, Lane's doing great out there. You know, looking back at that battle again, though, that is really heating up. We're going to have a 5-way battle here, and this is where all of our excitement's going to come from, other than can Lane Allen catch our leader, Donnie Staubitz.
Well, if you look back when Chris Spence pitted, Chris Spence, I believe, pitted at lap 16. Now, is that we suggested it was for strategy, but what if his car just doesn't run very well with about 15 laps on the tires, which we'd be closing in right now around that same time, where he's losing a lot of time. You see him locking up the tires. It could be something where he just wears that car out with 15 laps on the tires, because I don't know. I mean, it'll be really interesting. I don't think he's going to hold this position very much longer.
Yeah, there's no way. I mean, he's struggling in the corner. You can see it. You usually see him struggling through the corner. And these guys caught him pretty quick, so something's going to have to give here. I'm sure Bobby's going to try to be patient here, but we saw what happened. He put some pressure on the 71 of Casey McMullen. Saw Casey make a mistake here at this very turn, so we'll see if this happens again. He opens the door, and the 4's going to look on the inside and try to make that pass down the backstretch.
Boy, he had smoke coming out of those tires. He was almost locked up, the 41 was.
Yeah, I don't think the 41 quite has the setup that he had last year. Lightning in the bottle one time. He's still doing a great race and whatnot, but it was the 4. Goes off right off the nose of the 8.
Yeah, I think the 8 got in the corner a little hard there and turned the 4 and got him in the corner. They're almost 3 wide behind those guys. Oh, we see the 54, the 41 make contact, and the 12's involved as well. So this has gone from bad to worse here really quick.
Calamity corner for sure.
Wow, 5 cars all together are now no longer together, as we just caught a couple incidents there live on our cameras.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. The first incident, it looks like the 8 just got in there a little hot. It just made slight contact with the 4 and sent him in the grass. But then after that, everybody got kind of checked up and stacked up, and that's just led to a little contact there through a really tight section of the track. And what this has done, it's allowed the 8 to kind of jump out, but the 41 of Pence has maintained 4th place through all that.
Yeah, Pence the big winner out of that situation. You know, we talk about strategy and everything. Here we go, right? I mean, maybe not running the fast. Maybe his car is losing it, but guys pushing so hard to get around him and causing other battles from guys behind them. You know, they get into each other, and here we go. He's probably going to maintain, probably a top 5 or 6 spot here.
Yeah, everybody in this league is really respectful of one another, but at the same time, when stuff happens like that, you're a driver, sometimes you might push a little bit too hard and get somebody out of shape. You know, that's not to say that somebody isn't above payback, but I expect everybody to just kind of sit back, regroup, and then get going again.
Yeah, that 41, I'm just watching him. He's still struggling out here. The 12's right on his bumper, the 4 right behind him, and they're probably going to dispose of him pretty quickly here. Just because it just looks like the car just is not turning center of the corner. There's
boy.
And the 12 turns the 41 around over that little, I don't know what you would call it, the hill there.
Yeah, and I don't even think that was necessarily intentional. I think it was just the fact that he had to go so slow in the middle of that corner. He wasn't expecting that. But at the same time, you know, like I said, you know, contact brews contact.
I'm going to look at it again.
We're going to look at it right here. And we got the riding along from Will Long coming into the corner behind the 41 car. As we enter in here, I don't even know. I don't think he made contact prior to him getting loose. It looks like he got the ass end a little loose, and then the 12 car just eased up into him and just got a little bit of him.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Looking back at it, I don't believe he touched him. I think the 41 got on the gas hard, got his car sideways, and then hit the brakes trying to save it. And of course, the 12 had nowhere to go. So it looks like that that wasn't the 12 car's fault to start that. The 41 got loose, and the 12 had nowhere to go.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that 41 car, at about lap 15, it just doesn't have any tires under it. I mean, we all thought he was going to play for a little bit of strategy call by pitting at lap 16. I think the car just falls apart underneath him.
We got side-by-side racing action here between Bobby Terrell and the 12 of Will Long, and they sorted out. Bobby was trying to make that move there, and Will stuck it out on the outside, was able to maintain the position.
Yeah, Will did a great job there holding that position. And, you know, Brad, you really called it with the 41 there almost perfectly about his car, as you were trying to describe that probably not the 12's fault at all, just the fact that the car in front was getting loose. And the replay, you know, it shows that to be exactly true.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes when you set up these cars, it'll burn off some of the corners. You make commitments. But what I will say is, looking back up at the leader at 99, Donnie Salvez, he seems like he's pulling just a little bit away from Glenn Allen. Not by a lot. I mean, but he seemed to stretch that gap just a little bit longer.
Yeah, Donnie's up to about 5.3 seconds of a lead. It was 4.8, I believe, or was it? No, it was 3.8.
Threes, yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. So actually, he's made a good bit of time here. Again, we'll see as we work through these last laps if there's an advantage to the 14, and also just keep in mind one small mistake and it'll bring Lane right back to him. So we're on complete lap 34 of 45, so we still have 11 to go.
Yeah, it looks like Lane is actually just dealing with a little bit of off traffic as well. Let's see if that actually he's able to pull back a little bit of time or not, or you know what, he might be considered with just being able to settle in his position. He's got a long way back to the 8 car Bernard person. He might just chalk this up as a good points day.
Yeah, it's actually 4.8 at the line now, so he's gained a little bit back. So it just kind of seesaw out and back right here.
You know, there's one guy out here on the track that I haven't brought up tonight. I'm not sure I want to. We've kind of put the curse on him before, and he's been cursed for quite a while now, but I'm going to try it anyway. Mr. TJ Bartel, just, you know, having a solid run down here in 7th spot, kind of all by himself out here on the track. Maybe he likes it that way with the luck he's had around traffic lately. Hopefully we don't curse him, and hopefully he brings home a nice solid finish tonight.
Well, just remember, TJ, he's the one that brought it up, not us.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, exactly. So come hunting for him after the race if you have issues. But, in all seriousness, TJ, he comes in these road course races with that mindset. He wants to get kind of by himself and just run his race, run the laps, stay out of trouble, and see how things work out. And that's exactly what he's doing. Not his favorite kind of racing. Talked to him in the garage. It's not his really his cup of tea. But he's not that bad at it. He's actually pretty good at these road races. He was doing great in the Cup car at Watkins Glen this past week. Had some issues, frame rate related, and had some things happen. But he definitely can wheel a car around these road courses. I believe this road course is kind of new to him as well, so that also factors into it.
Well, I'll tell you what, I was just watching the number 12 of William Long, and he went into the corner, put it out wide, went out on the gas, lost the position to both the 8 car Bernard Persons and the 54 of Baron Labosco, who's actually making a comeback.
Yeah, it's so easy to do on this track. We've seen several guys do it. Just pushing hard to hold that spot, the 4th spot. He's going to slip down now to the 6th spot. At least he'll be content there now, I think, to just kind of ride behind these guys and see if they have any issues. But back in 5th spot, Mr. Baron Labosco slowly getting better out here. He might not have liked the track, but I think he's learning as this race goes on.
Yeah, Barron didn't take his time, started 15th, so up to 5th, gained 10 positions. That's pretty impressive here at the road course. Just kind of running his pace, running his, staying out of trouble as much as he can. And yeah, up to 5th place. He's got a little ways to go him and Bobby have a little ways to go for the aid of Bernard Person, who's kind of checked out on those guys.
Yeah, Bernard Person, part of Spear Motorsports there, the anchor of that team, a great driver, great person, no pun intended. The 8 car currently running in 3rd spot, a healthy margin up to Lane Allen, but he'll be very content to take home 3rd tonight, I would think.
I'll tell you what, it's just that quick though. The 54 about Baron Lebowska, we were just talking about, he went a little bit too aggressive, put it off into the grass. That capitalized the 12 car William Long to get around him, and now he's falling back in position and gave away everything that he worked for. So now he's got to reset, refocus, and go back at it again.
Well, that's one thing I like about this track. You know, we talked how challenging this track is. This track challenges you to be perfect in every corner. And so any small mistake like that, you see Barron going back by the 12, but any small mistake like that, you'll lose time or lose positions. And it makes for a very challenging race. But if you can do it right, like the 99 Stoppins, you really enjoy it.
Yeah, it's that old cliche. You can race your competitor or you can race the track. Here you really need to race the track.
Exactly.
Well, speaking of Donnie Staubach here, you know, he's been so alone tonight. We haven't given him a whole lot of time. Let's just take a little ride along with Donnie one more time. Have a look at what he's doing around this track. He looks very comfortable out there tonight.
He does, and he's doing a great job. I mean, he's out there by himself, running his own race. Hasn't really made many mistakes, if any at all. And just, you know, once you get a lead like that, you kind of want to just run consistently. The only thing that would worry me, the only thing the 14 can do at this point is start trying to take chunks out of his time and start having Donnie look at the leaderboard, you know, look at that interval. And then that kind of gets in your head. You'll start trying to run faster, and you may force a mistake. From second place, it's really all you can do at this point.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, Lane Allen, you know, on a prayer here that Donnie might make a mistake. I know he doesn't wish ill on anybody, but it's basically all he's got. Donnie's just been too consistent and too good tonight. I don't think we've seen Donnie. He might have got off track once. I'm not too sure, though.
Yeah, if it's been mistakes, it's been very small. And same can be said about Lane Allen. He's made small mistakes, if anything. And that's why you see these guys 36 seconds ahead of 3rd place.
Yeah, that is an amazing gap there. As we'll quickly take a look back here at the battles out on the track. Not sure we have any great battles going on currently. Bernard Person seems to be off alone here. Take a look in at Bobby Terrell. Bobby Terrell and Baron Lebowska, probably the hottest battle on the track currently.
Yeah, they seem to be trading lap times back and forth, and it's another one of those things where I think Bobby's better in certain corners and Baron's better in certain corners, but unless you can put them all together, you really can't go anywhere. It forces you to just kind of ride behind them, because you're going to have to check up a little bit more because there's only so much racetrack.
Yeah, I'll tell you, the 54 is faster than the 4 right now, but you're right. I mean, catching one thing, passing another. But I feel like Barron may try to look right here going into the keyhole, maybe not. But, you know, we talked about the one weakness we saw in the 4 cars, maybe his braking points. This is going to force him to brake a little bit later, and it could force a mistake.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the 4 car, looking big picture points, doesn't allow the 54 to get by before too long. Because let's face it, if he puts enough pressure on him where he thinks he's going to make a mistake and ultimately cost him a little bit more, he should let the 54 go, knowing that he's got a, you know, the big picture, if you will, and there he goes right there.
Yeah, I don't know if he pulled over there. Oh, he made a mistake. Now the 54 is off track. Made a mistake.
Oh my goodness.
All right, the 4 looks like he's getting the picture here. He's points racing at this point. He's gonna let the 54 go and just kind of ride here.
Yeah, I think that was almost one of those where both of the drivers were trying to be a little too courteous, and they both put themselves in a little bit of danger, and luckily we were able to get it sorted out.
Yeah, that's a great point too. You know, we have that from time to time with being courteous is great and all, but sometimes you just want a guy to, not so much on these tracks, but it does happen in our league where guys are being too cautious, and you just prefer they either get in front of you or get behind you and make a decision, But yeah,
it looks like we got 5 laps left to go, so do I even dare ask who you think is going to take this one home, Donnie?
Yeah, Donnie.
Think it's going to be Donnie?
Definitely.
We all picked the wrong person. So.
We all picked the wrong one, but I got to tell you right now, I couldn't be rooting more for a guy to win tonight than Donnie Staubitz. Of course, Lane Allen as well, a very close second there in the voting, but Donnie's been working so hard on his racing, doing a great job tonight, leading all the laps. It'd be a crime if he didn't finish this thing out.
Yeah, he did. I think he's led all the laps, hasn't he? Unless he through pit stops, maybe he missed one or two or what. But yeah, I'll have to say my pick coming into the race was the 22, and yeah, that didn't fare so well. So maybe I need to stop picking people.
Well, we picked the 22 the other night, and apparently maybe that's where the broadcasting jinx is on who we're picking. Maybe we got to stop picking.
Yeah, I'll talk to Michael about that. We'll see if we can have that changed. Unfortunately, I talked to him in the garage a little bit on passing. He didn't want to go on camera or anything, but he said basically he had a braking issue that kept popping up and eventually caused him to retire there.
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of time before he gets that monkey off his back. He's going to put one all together, and when he does, it's going to be all the more better, and he'll be all the better for it. I think it's just a matter of time before he puts one in victory lane.
Yeah, for sure. Doing a great job here. The 99 of Donnie Staubitz in the Menards car. Looking great, leading. It's his race to have, his race to lose. Lane Allen currently in second place, really stalking him at the same interval that he's been at for the better part of this race, the better part of 30-plus laps. They've been almost exactly the same lap times. Bernard Persson currently sitting in third, followed by Baron Labosco, who, after they traded, places in the grass 1-2 times, he finally got in front of Bobby Terrell, who will round out the top 5.
Got to tell you though, I just want to go ahead and tell you that Lane cut down 0.8 of a second on that lap. Not sure if the 99 had an issue or what, but he's down to 4 seconds even. So. I don't know. It may be over here, but Lane's still got something to prove, I believe.
Yeah, I was seeing that same thing. He seems like he's been cutting a little bit out of the last couple of laps, and he actually cut a half second out dealing with lap traffic that time to Lane Allen. I'm not so sure it's not so much that Donnie's just dialing it back just a little bit to make sure he gets through these corners nice and clean with only a few laps left to go to not throw away. I mean, he's got a decent lead to work with. And the smart thing is to do is just make sure you make the corners.
And it may be that, and you may be 100% correct there. But I also remember that this is about the time that Lane started showing some speed on the last run before halfway there. So I think tires may have something to do with that as well. We'll see if it shrinks again this lap.
Yeah, we're just watching Lane from the gyro cam here. Really interesting to watch how the car moves around. Not as violently at some tracks, but as they get through those corners, hit those curves, getting jostled around. Looks like he's doing a pretty good job here, as you'd suspect, of staying smooth, not overdriving the car at all.
Yeah, Lane actually lost about 3 tenths that lap, so Donnie may be playing with him, I don't know. But you're right, with that big of a lead, with 2 or 3 laps to go, you just don't want to make a big mistake, and so it wouldn't surprise me to see Donnie back up a little bit to Lane, but I don't think he's going to have time to get there.
Well, we did see Lane get in one of the corners. He got just a little high, and it kind of killed his exit, and it was into a straightaway, so that's probably the 3 tenths right there. Back out front with our leader here. We got, 3 to go. He'll be coming to take 2 to go here for this victory.
Yeah, I think he's just protecting his lead right now. I think he knows he's got this one chalked up. He's just got to make sure that the nerves don't get to him right now. He hits his mark. He keeps it straight on the racetrack. If he falls off the corner, gets into the grass, it's a whole different ballgame.
Well, I'll tell you what, Lane's still pushing hard though. He got really sideways over the hump back there, and still trying to push hard. He hasn't given up on this, but he's going to push to the very end, I'm sure.
Yeah, Lane's got a perfect position. I mean, he's got 30 plus seconds to the next car, so he can afford to push it hard, even if he goes off course. All he does at that point is say, "Okay, I'm not going to get the win. I'm not going to close the gap, but I can push as hard as I can right now."
I tell you what, Donnie's going to be coming up on lap traffic. You got the 09 of Kevin Sargent, and you got the 71 of Casey McMullen right in front of the leader here.
Yeah, he's going to have lap traffic, but, even if Lane was able to get up there, which is highly doubtful, catching is one thing, passing another, as we've watched earlier. So, once again, keep all four wheels on the track as are keys to the race. Keep your focus intact all the way to the end. Don't start thinking about that champagne quite yet.
Well, neither one of these guys have won a race yet in the FTSR. So, in the FTSR Xfinity series. So, both these guys, I mean, you got to think about it. What would you do for your first win? If he gets close, I don't know, Lane's highly doubtful he's going to do anything. But if you get close for that first win, what do you do?
Well, yeah, like you said, Lane, almost anybody in this Full Throttle Sim Racing League would not do anything as far as bumping anybody. You never know. It has happened. It could happen again. But some of the best drivers, the best league that you could possibly drive in. And we have you, actually, Brody Hanna here in the booth with us, the actual owner of Full Throttle Sim Racing. What a great league you've got, Brody.
Guys, we just took a white flag lap, and the gap's down to 2.6. They're on the same straightaway now. So
yeah,
this is that pressure.
99's just backing it off. He's making sure he stays safe. But he did. He lost a good second that lap.
Yeah, Donnie Staubach still leading out here on the last lap. Like you said, just taking it easy. He's got a big enough gap. He's got some time to play with. The Menards car, number 99, our leader, coming on the last lap.
And think about it. We've all been there. Our first win in the series. Right now is when you're starting to get a little bit of that pressure. You're starting to get a little bit sweaty palms and whatnot. Not for the racing, but just, I'm going to win my first race. And, that's when mistakes can happen. The 14 of Lane Allen is keeping him honest. If he makes one mistake, put a wheel off into the grass, he's going to be right on top of him. I just think he's going to run out of time.
Exactly, and that was what I was going to say. You look at that gap; it goes from 4 seconds to 2.6. You're going to start feeling a certain way about that. Even on the last lap, you don't want to get that close. But looks like Donnie knows exactly what he's doing. Just backing up his corners, being smooth through the next to last, and then the last corner. Going to come around and take his first win in FTSR, the FTSR Xfinity Series at Mid-Ohio. Your winner, the 99, Donnie Staubach.
Donnie, congratulations to the 99 car. Donnie Staubach, what a fantastic job all night, dominating performance. His first win. I really can't wait to get him up here and have a talk with him and to see how excited he is to get this win tonight.
Yeah, we're still waiting for third place to finish. This is how big the gap was. It was 43 seconds back to third place from the lead. These guys were just so dominant out front there.
Oh, is he?
Such a great job. Yeah, 18's off again. He's done that a couple times. Having issues. Here comes your third place finisher, Baron Labosca. It's going to bring it home in third place.
Yeah, Baron with a nice solid finish from where he started. You got Bernard Person in fourth and Bobby Terrell fifth. We'll run down our standings and everything in a bit. Great job by a few of these guys. Donnie Staubach's our winner and Lane Allen second. I mean, two better guys. Could there be two better guys to see up there tonight?
No, these guys are some of the best guys in the league, and to be able to have them shine tonight on the road course and show how dominant they can be. Is a great, and that could be a great stepping stone towards better things, especially for Donnie, for Lane. These guys have run good. They ran great last week at Watkins Glen. Another great run tonight and a win for Donnie Staubach. It could be the start of something great.
Yeah, it absolutely could. And what we've seen this season, even on the ovals and everything, I mean, he's been really steady this year. So I look for him next year. You know, we only got about 4 races left here in the season, and I look for him next year to be a legitimate contender. Anyway, why don't we take a break here? We'll set up a commercial. We'll come back. We'll set our finishing order. We'll get interviews from all of our top 3 competitors and a little race analysis up here in the booth. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back to Full Throttle Television. Dean Doucette up here in the booth with Brody Hanna and Brad Patterson. We're just looking at our finishing order tonight. And of course, we got our winner, the 99 car in the Menards machine, Mr. Donnie Staubach. A big congratulations to him. What a great finish for him. His first win here at FTSR. Coming home second, you got Lane Allen in a 14 car, part of that Blackwater Products USA team. And third will be Baron Labosco in the 54 car. Fourth, Bernard Person in the 8 Spears Motorsports car. Bobby Terrell in the 4 car. He'll come home fourth, our current points leader, I believe. In 6th place is William Long. 7th will be TJ Bartel. 8th, Chris Pence. 9th, Casey McMullen. And 10th will be Sherwood Williford.
Yeah, 11th place is going to be the 9 of Jason Martin. 12th place, 2 laps down, is going to be the 18 of Brian Bliss. 13th is Steve Loomis in the number 17 Blackwater Products USA machine. 14th is going to be Kevin Sargent in the 09. 15th and final finishing position tonight is going to be the 22, your pole sitter Michael Blackner.
Yep, there you have it. What a race for Mr. Donnie Staubach. Couldn't be happier for him. What a job, guys. I mean, this guy, you know, we haven't seen him. He was seen a couple races where he was at the end with a caution and he ran close up front and he had a shot, but a dominating performance tonight.
Yeah, he really did dominate. I don't know. I got to look at the results to see how many laps he led, but he did. He led almost all, if not all, of the laps tonight. He did a great job. Didn't really put a wheel wrong all night. Just kept his car on track. Ran stable, consistent, but ran fast. I mean, he had a fast car as well, and was able to jump out front and not look back.
Yeah, great job. We've seen some great battles out there. You know, we've seen a lot of off-track incidents. We've seen some swaps. We had that 5-car pack running together, and that all kind of played itself out through various little incidents here and there. A lot of fun to broadcast tonight. But we're going to hop right into our post-race show here. We're going to talk to our top 3 finishers. And I believe right now, if I'm not mistaken, Brad, are you with the 54 of Baron Labosco?
That's right, Dean. I'm with the 54, Baron Labosco of the Adrenaline Camaro. Baron, it seems like you had a great night tonight. You started deep in the field after qualifying 15th. Let me know how your race went.
Um, Happy to have this one in the rearview mirror. Where I had to be honest. Um, Self-destruction. Got a little help from the 41 once. I'm not a big fan of this track. I tried to qualify and just clipped the turn, so I had to start deep in the field, and basically had to race my way in. I'll say tonight the competitors were very good to me, and when I caught them, they didn't trouble me or hassle me too much tonight. And that's just a testament to this team or to this organization here. And had a
Well,
couple of rough weeks, so this feels good for a third place.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. If a rough race is third place, you're doing very good on the season. Um, is there anybody you'd like to thank for your success tonight, or anything?
Yeah. Again, shout out to Adrenaline Motorsports, Charles Seals, Kyle Myers, Patrick McLaurin, who is my sounding board every week. He drives exactly the opposite of me, and together we put together some nice setups for these races. And just want to thank you guys, Dean and Brody, and all the other competitors for racing me well tonight. And it was a fun race. Glad it's over. Looking forward to some ovals.
Well, I believe next week you're going to get that. I believe next week's going to be Bristol, so we're going to be looking for you at the front of the field.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
Bristol, baby.
yeah, a lot more beating and banging, but hopefully not in the same direction. So we really look forward to seeing you next week. You did a great job. Congratulations with a third place finish coming from the back of the field. Um, Anybody else you'd like to thank?
Really, just you guys for putting on a hell of a show. I have gotten people to come watch this event now every Thursday. I've got a slew of text messages on my phone right now next to me, wondering why I keep running off the road. And you guys do a hell of a job. This is an A1 organization, and I've made a hole for myself, on the points, but I'm gonna try to hold my head high and finish strong this year. And you know, I just enjoy what I do here with you guys at Full Throttle.
Well, we appreciate that, and we look forward to seeing you next week, as I believe we have the second place finisher of Lane Allen standing by.
Yeah, I'm sitting here with Lane Allen. Lane, congratulations on a second place finish tonight.
Yeah, thanks, Dean.
Man, we couldn't be happier to see you up there, man. We thought you might have a little something for Donnie up front. You were basically, once you got at that gap, you were at about a 3 or 4 second gap, something along those lines, and you pretty much stayed there for about 35, 40 laps solid. Just talk a little bit about what you had and maybe what Donnie had out there.
Yeah, we seemed pretty even. I could gain a little bit, and then I'd slide a little bit somewhere, and he'd pull it back.
Yeah, you managed to keep your car on the road for the most part. We was it a difficult race? I mean, this is a tight technical track. It's a long time to be out there making 15 turns, and we've seen a lot of guys locking up the tires here and there, and maybe getting a little high in the corners. Was it difficult to get through this entire race?
Oh yeah, it took all the concentration you had. That's for sure. I got off the track a couple of times, but never did go around, so I didn't lose too much time.
Yeah, you did a great job, man, and we were pulling for you. I got to tell you, we were pulling for Donnie quite a lot to get his first win. Seeing the two of you up there was fantastic. Now you're part of that Blackwater Products USA team there, and maybe just talk a little bit about the team and how that's playing out this year. It looks like you guys are working well together.
Yeah, seem to fit in pretty good over here. I like these guys. Awesome bunch.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, congratulations tonight, Lane. A second place finish, man. We couldn't be happier for you. Sorry you couldn't get the win tonight, but you did a great job, man, and a big congratulations.
Thanks, Dean. It was good fun digging out there. I gave it all I had.
Yeah, he certainly did. That's Lane Allen, folks, our second place finisher tonight. Brad, what do you think about Lane's performance tonight?
Lane did exactly what he needed to do. Unfortunately, at the end of the day, he just came home a little bit short. It was very hard to get up to the 99. The 99 was running incredible lap times. Lane was doing everything he could to mirror him. At the end of the day, he just came up a little bit short, but he did a great job and had a great run.
Yeah, well, speaking of great jobs and great runs in the 99, I believe Brody Hanner is with our race winner tonight, Mr. Donnie Staubitz.
Yeah, I'm down here in Victory Land, and you won't find a happier person here at Mid Ohio than 99 and Donnie Staubitz. Dominating fashion, led every single lap tonight. Had about 45 seconds on third place. Man, tell me about your run tonight.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. You're right, man. You're not going to find anybody happier than me tonight. So happy to get my first win with the FTSR guys. Um, I appreciate everything you guys do. It's so much fun racing with you, you guys. If it wasn't for Lane and Brian, helping with setups, uh, Team JBL, we've got the 1-2 tonight, so it's just all around great night, and you couldn't have won any better. If Brian got in the top three, that would have been a full podium show for us. But um, we'll take it. I'm super stoked. I'm so happy. Um, it's we qualified good. We were practicing good. When we practice started, I knew the car was so fast, and I just had to qualify good because track position is so important on these road courses. And once we qualified all right, I'm like, all right, we got this. Just don't screw up. And it just everything fell into place. And Lane was hot on our tail and kept me honest all night. But we were able to pull it off.
Yeah, we talked to you last week, and when we showed up at Watkins Glen, I told these guys to be on the lookout for you because I know for a fact, because we mentioned about our Daytona 24-hour experience earlier this year. I knew you were good on the road courses. Very impressive run, and we're running out the leaders just ran out of time at Watkins Glen after starting ninth. But tonight you had the track position and you used it very well and was able to get out front, stay out front.
Yeah, it was key to qualifying. So, once we were able to get that, I knew that we had such a fast car that if I didn't screw up, it was going to be a top three at the worst, third at the worst. So um, just real happy that Lane got the second. Like I said, man, wouldn't be as fast as I was without their help, Lane and Brian. I really appreciate everything they do.
Very cool. And the one last thing I want to ask you is the only question out there really was pit strategy. We saw the 41 of Chris Pence pit a little early. He came in on lap 15, but you waited to halfway. I actually waited a couple laps after Lane pitted. Was there any question there about what you were going to do? Did you come into the race with that idea?
Yeah, that was plan A. I didn't want to try to get cute with anything because that's when I screw things up. So I the car was handled so well. I knew getting to halfway wasn't the problem. We couldn't have went more, but I just wanted to keep everything in order to plan. And I knew we would have plenty of tire at the end if we had to get into a battle or something. So that was plan A. Was definitely just get the halfway and get the pit stop done and don't make any mistakes on that, and go race from there if we had to. But we came back out and in the lead and didn't have to really battle anything. Just kept an eye on Lane, inching closer, and I get back at it a little bit, because I was trying not to overdrive the car. So, and sometimes when you do that, you slow down a little bit. So then I had to hustle it for a little bit more and to maintain the gap, and we were able to do everything that we needed to do that.
Well, that's awesome, Donnie. I'm going to give you the mic now, though. Give you an opportunity to give your shout outs here. Your first win here at FTSR. I want to give you the opportunity for sure.
Yeah, I certainly appreciate it. A shout out to you, and what you guys, all the admins here at Full Throttle. Appreciate everything that you guys do with the the practice sessions and the help with the setups, and you guys put a lot in, and I certainly appreciate what you guys do, all the administrators. It's really nice to race here, and I'm glad you guys allow me to race with you. It's a lot of fun. And of course, my teammates, JBL, Lane, and Brian. I got to shout out to them, man. Because I know I said it a couple times, but I really would be struggling terribly if it wasn't for their help. So I really appreciate everything they do.
All right. Well, there's your winner tonight. The 99 Donnie Staubitz gets his first win, stuck to plan A, Dean, and was able to ride that plan to victory lane. His first win at FTSR.
Yeah, there's nothing like having Plan A work out. Don't have to reach into that bag of tricks for Plan B. Donnie Staubitz, what a great job tonight. Overall, it was a great race because we had up front, we had enough where Lane Allen was keeping him honest, as he said. So we had those two battles, and we had several battles out on the track for position. So a lot of fun, a good race tonight. Any final thoughts you got on the race tonight, Brad?
Oh, I just want to mirror what you were saying. I mean, I think it was a great race. You had two cars. They kind of ran away with the show, but at the same time, they made sure to keep each other honest. You had some great pack battles mid-pack. You had a little bit of controversy with a couple of cars getting into each other, but at the same time, it was just hard race and a lot of people trying to overextend themselves and do maybe a little bit more than they could. But overall, I mean, as he said, you got a first-time winner. I couldn't be more ecstatic for him.
And Dean, that's another thing too. Hearing these guys, you interview these guys for the first time, the excitement in their voice, how happy they are. That's why we do this. I love to hear first-time winners and hear their take on the race and how tense they were. Oh, we were trying to stick to the plan. I try to keep the car on the track. It's just so much fun to hear new guys get that first win, and you never know when that could kick off to something bigger and better for the 99 of Donnie Staubitz. You could see him really take off.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I think these first wins, man, they do propel people. Doesn't matter if it's on a road course. Doesn't matter if it's on a dirt course or on oval. It's just that confidence to know I can race with these guys. I have as much talent as they do, and now Donnie's got that confidence. He's going to be good to go. I think you're going to see him, like I said, next season. I think a real championship contender, and I look forward to seeing him. Speaking of looking forward, we're here every Thursday night at 9 p.m. for the Xfinity Series. Next week we're going to be at Bristol Motor Speedway. I mean, the action's going to be incredible there. One of the best short tracks in the history of racing. Just phenomenal racing we got to look forward to, guys.
Absolutely. Bristol always puts on a great show. I mean, the cars are so close together. You're all over the track. It's Saturday night short. Well, I guess Thursday night short track racing. But the under the lights, it's going to be a lot of fun. I look forward to seeing these cars under the lights and get back to ovals. We'll see if somebody can rebound from a couple of bad weeks at road courses and take on the win.
Yeah, and we're not completely back to ovals here on Full Throttle Television, as I believe next week the Truck Series on Wednesday at 9 o'clock will be heading to Canadian Tire, if I'm correct on that one, Brody.
Actually, the Xfinity Series is going to be going to Road America after Bristol. So that's going to be an interesting, another interesting track because there's a lot of straightaway time and a lot of tight corners on that track as well.
Yes, we'll be heading to Road America for the Xfinity after Bristol, but the Truck Series, I believe, is at Canadian Tire next Wednesday.
Yes, sorry. Yeah, so I kind of jumped ahead of myself, but you're right. Yeah, the Truck Series will be at Canadian Tire. We'll do a little road course racing in the trucks. This should be a lot of fun.
It absolutely should. And that's going to about wrap it up for us here on Full Throttle Television from Mid-Ohio Sports, the sports course. Great race tonight. Donnie Staubitz, our race winner. I'm Dean Doucette. It's Brody Hanna. With us is Mr. Brad Patterson. And we're going to wish you all a good night.